filing your nil return.
Commissioner General to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A very good morning to you, one that is rainy but should not stop you from getting out of your bed. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV. If you're just joining in, you're welcome. This is Good Morning Uganda. And if you started the show with us, thank you so much for choosing UBC TV. Now, in the name of empowering ourselves monetarily, let's talk about Forex trading on The Real this morning. And a poll for you there. Share your views on how Forex trading contributes to the country's wealth creation. Follow the conversation and share your opinion at that. On X at UBCTV Uganda, the hashtag is UBCGMU. The conversation is also on YouTube on the UBC channel, Good Morning Uganda. But as well as be part of the conversation, 0709-602-592. Now, leaving you to comment and share your opinion, objective or even subjective opinion as to what you think about Forex trading. Let's also talk about how Forex trading is contributing to the wealth of Uganda's wealth creation. And to have this conversation with us this morning is Ahichirize Daniel, the CEO and founder of Forex Bulls. Good morning, Ahichirize.
Yes, good morning. Great pleasure being here. It's a cold morning,
indeed,
but again, we are here.
Surely, indeed. Pleasure having you.
Yes.
And let's start with the simplest of questions that a layman would even want to understand. What exactly is Forex trading?
Well, okay, I honestly really like it when I get to talk about this, because for some time, people have now gotten to understand what trading is about. But I would still say there is a lot to talk about this and bring more awareness. So Forex trading is pretty much the buying and selling of currencies. So it's just like how you could go to a Forex bureau and you're exchanging money. But this time around, we are doing it online, and that means you can do it on your phone, on your computer. In fact, as long as you have the internet with you, you could actually trade and make some good money from anywhere. So I think that's the simplest one, how to define what trading is. Yes, please.
And the fact that you're talking about technology here, now the conversation is more interesting.
Yes.
In a bit, we'll be delving deep into how exactly we can now carry on Forex trading online. But let's continue with the basics and the foundation. Is Forex trading something that is part of the Ugandan education curriculum, especially university?
Well, at the moment, not really, but we've still found out how to educate people about this because, okay, I think looking at the Ugandan curriculum, we do study finances and stuff, but I think this seems more of like a different topic. But in the meantime, still we've been able to do awareness, educate people, because it's more practical than to say theoretical. I think for trading, you need to really understand, okay, when am I supposed to buy or sell? So in other words, it's more of like a practical skill than, getting to learn it theoretically. I don't know this and that and that. So we've still found a way, but maybe sooner or later, it should be, added to the curriculum, because I feel like we should now look at more practical skills than, theoretical, because at the end of the day, you're done with university, you're done with school, and now you're facing the real world. So I feel like if you do have lesser skill like this at hand, it's even much more easier, because you could still be doing, you know, a lesser normal job and all that, but at least on the side, you're still able to make some money on the side, yes.
And that's profound, given that now Uganda's trajectory in education is now with competence-based learning.
Yes, and you know,
which is more skill-based.
Yes, and things are getting more digital. So I'd look at things, okay, how are you going to use your phone or the internet? Because, I mean, everything is changing. How are you going to use your phone or your laptop with the internet that you have to do something on the side? So also look at it in a sense of, okay, even away from trading, what are the other online businesses that people can do, you know? And for the fact that I've been into the trading space for like the last 6 years, at least I've had enough experience to even talk about this, and more importantly, also train and educate many Ugandans on how this whole business goes. And it's been a really great pleasure for sure.
I will speak from a layman's experience and personal
Yes.
experience. This one time I was at around Garden City, and I met young men who are having conversations on this. They were busy calculating this, and it looked like they were probably under school for this, and they were discussing something like, he's taught us this, the lecturer said this and this and this, when you calculate ABC, this. And I was thinking, yo, if this is Forex trading, that's a lot of mathematics. But how simple can it be to get into the depth of this whole business?
I don't know. I feel like, okay, maybe sometimes people kind of project it as, you know, this rocket science or something.
I think they were calculating shares.
Honestly, not. So I would say, I feel like as long as someone can actually read and write, okay, read and interpret data, then you can actually do trading. So the idea is, let me give an example. I think the Ugandan shilling has been gaining value for like the last couple of months and all that. So for anyone looking at that, you would be interested in buying the Ugandan shilling. So you just need to look at the data and say, okay, what's happening? Or you could even watch the news and say, okay, Uganda is developing, and that means that Ugandan shilling is gaining value. So we need to buy the Ugandan shilling. I'd also give an example. Let's say we have, there's conflict happening between Iran and so forth and all that. So people would say, okay, or maybe I won't buy the dollar right now because the US is also involved. And you'd opt for another instrument, let's say gold. So trading is not some rocket science or something. I think it's just people trying to project it that way in a sense. But honestly, as long as you have your phone, you could open up the charts. I mean, I've always seen them on the news over and over, so I think it's really easy stuff.
Right.
Sure.
So let's look, and anyways, before we even continue into this conversation, for our viewer who has just joined in, we are looking at Forex trading in Uganda. But we want to first pick your opinion. Share your views on how Forex trading contributes to the country's wealth creation. Share your opinion on that. The conversation is going on X. Then the X handle of UBC TV is at UBC TV Uganda. But the hashtag of the conversation is hashtag UBCGNU. We are also online via YouTube. So in case you cannot catch us via your screen on your TV set in your living room or anywhere you're settled, at least you can still get us mobile. And to have this conversation with us, as you share your opinion, Ahecherize Daniel, CEO and founder of Forex Bulls. That is what we are looking at this morning. To go on with our conversation.
Yes, please.
What career opportunities does Forex trading present for Ugandans, young Ugandans at that?
Well, a variety actually, but I would look at, obviously, to be honest, it's a variety of them, okay? So I would firstly look at, in banks here, we have people that trade. And by the way, I think for some reason you might have noticed that your banks actually now send emails to say, okay, do you want to trade or do you want to invest into this and that? So banks actually need active traders in because you're going to keep your money in and banks want to make a profit of that. And how are they going to do that? They have to trade. So you could learn how to trade and become a banker, but you could also learn how to trade and become a day trader. That means you could work from anywhere, home or basically. Now I'll give an example to me personally. I'm now a full-time day trader. So to me, that's my full-time career. Like that's my career path. So a full-time day trader, but either, you know, you could still do that and become a hedge fund manager. Or so I look at this in the bigger picture. How are we going to use Or rather, how are we going to take advantage of the online trading space to actually develop Uganda in the long term? Or maybe in the future we could, start up a hedge fund, and within that, I'll still be able to bring in traders to help trade. I'll give an example at the moment. We've been running a trading academy for like the last 4 years, educating Ugandans. And through that, I've also been able to employ, tutors, guys to actually teach other people how to trade. So it's like a whole thing that is actually growing. And looking at it in like the next 5 to 10 years, this is going to be something big. And by the way, let me also give you another perspective. I would say 2021, because that's when the space, got a bit of light. Now, looking at things at the moment, we have a lot, and I mean a lot. I can't specifically say the numbers, but all I'm really sure about is we have a lot of people basically living off this, working a job, but then also trading. Then I've also seen active, people that basically do this on a day-to-day basis. So it's something really huge. It is, yes.
Getting into some of the comments coming through, and after the comments, you will explain to us the terminology of the word hedge fund.
Okay.
For our viewer to better understand this. But reading some of the comments, good morning, Uganda. Mine is a question. Is the current technology of AI applicable on Forex trading? Thanks. This is Edson Mohanji.
Okay, impressive. Yes, so it is, and that's a thing that I've heard from a lot of people. Some people say, oh, will AI replace my job as a trader? Well, not. But the thing is, we are now using AI as a leverage. Should I say so? Like, how are we going to use AI to even, better the trading space? So since it's basically looking at markets and all that, so you're now looking at, okay, how am I going to use AI to help me predict better or to stay on track with what's happening, with the financial trends? So it's honestly more of like a benefit to us than, oh, AI is going to do this and that. I mean, all in all, the space is really growing, and anything that comes up is just an opportunity for us.
Right.
Yes.
Good morning. I'm watching the show right now. Could you help ask about us young children who know about Forex but are lacking capital, or our parents think it's a scam?
Well, okay, or maybe I should actually start with, the thing of, oh, maybe it's a scam or something. Well, trading is not a scam, and I think I've done this for the longest time. I've tried to, create a lot of awareness. Because back in the day, everyone would say any online business is a scam, because people have fallen for scams, actually. And by it's not only Uganda. I think it's actually worldwide. Or by it's not only in trading. It's anyone could fall for a scam. So people just need to be self-aware. So trading is not a scam. And I need to make this clear. It's a business where you get to trade. And as long as there is a third party where someone says, oh, I could actually get to trade for you, then that's falling for scam. So it's like your bank saying, calling you and they're asking for your details. Come on, you can't share your details with a random person. For you? Exactly, yes. So if someone is, calling you to say, oh, I'll do this and this, I'll invest your money, then that's a scam. But as for trading, you have your phone, learn, or basically, I think the most important thing in here is to understand how the markets work, so you actually get to invest wisely. Yes, please. Good
morning, Julian. Danielle. Personally, I watch Forex trading from a distance, and it's something that needs time to convince an ordinary person to do. In fact, it's more of elite things. If people can improve life through trading, then let it be boosted, because it has little talkability. This is Cricket Derek Gargamel. And I think he has a point here.
Very, very important. Oh, by the way, or maybe I think if the government comes in, on how to actually boost this, I mean, this would actually be a very, very big thing. Someone says it's for elites. Come on, I'm an ordinary person just like them, I got in here, got to learn and got good at it. So it's not like you have to be so educated or you have to be this type of a person. No, I think actually the biggest point in there is, how do we now get the message to even the, to the lowest person or someone out there, up country and all that. Maybe that's when the government also comes in, because to be honest, at the moment, I would say actually for the last 4 to 5 years, we've done this, We've not had any extra hand on the side to say, okay, you guys need to pump this, or maybe you need to reach the person down, or you need to reach out to this. Or by the way, we had students, graduate a few days ago, and now we have a lot of people out. Do we have any job opportunities? Honestly, you could actually count this. So we have a lot of people out, no jobs, no nothing, but we have the internet at hand. And what do you have to do? Maybe just scroll the internet, watch TikToks. Yet on the side, you could actually use your TikTok, but then on the side, making some money. So I think...
How much time would one need to invest? Because I'm looking at people who have 8 to 5 jobs.
Yes.
So on a day, 8 to 5 is about what, 8 hours maybe? How much time or hours does one need to invest for that side hustle?
Yeah. Well, not really a lot. It should be from 30 minutes to an hour. So, I mean, that's...
Daily?
Yes. 30 minutes.
And does that mean that you keep on checking your phone, like you check your social media every now and again?
No, not really. So what happens is, say you're going to trade, you could just analyze for like 15 minutes, look at the charts, find a trade, place the trade, and continue with your normal business. There's a bit of technical terms that are, I could also share here, but I feel like it's too technical some. So you set your trade and then go do your work. And it's going to run automatically.
Make having money work for you. Reminds
passively,
me of,
I love that, yes. So it's
reminds
passively.
me of that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because it's what exactly the author pushes in that book. Well, good morning. I love the fact that Mr. Daniel is explaining. My question is, where do all these sums of money people trade come from?
Oh my goodness. Well, see, trading is a business. So, I mean, it being a business, you need capital. So I feel like that question is like, okay, if you're going to start a business, where are you going to get the capital from? Or say someone has a business, you say, where did you get the capital from? So I'm looking at it in that sense. So trading being a business, I obviously look at it in a sense of, if you really want to make profit, then you obviously need to invest. And also, someone lesser trading with 10 million is definitely going to make more money than someone trading with 100,000 or someone trading, say, with, 500K. So it's all about the capital. In other words, your capital will always project your profit targets. Yes, please.
Would you advise? This is a thought that has come through.
Okay, I love that.
You see the PDM money that people are getting.
Yes.
Would you advise one to invest that PDM money, their 1 million, into Forex trading?
Actually, as long as you've learned and you know how the business goes, then come on. Because if there's money to be made, then it should be made for sure.
Interesting. Yes, it looks like circles out there. In line with PDM, you could consider, just saying. But invest in learning. Somebody comes through Forex Funds Technology and says Forex is very okay. That, people that just jump into it for money and end up calling it a scam.
Yes.
It's not get money quick scheme. You need to learn just like other jobs. Invest in learning before you call it a scam. Let's look at its regulation.
Yes.
How is the Forex trading business in Uganda regulated?
Yeah. Well, at the moment, we do not have any regulations.
Isn't that a risk, do you think?
Honestly, it's not much of a risk because this is what's happening. So we have brokers, okay? Now, most of these brokers are international, and so they hold licenses abroad and all that. Most of these are licensed in the UK, Cyprus, Mauritius, and so on. So they are licensed to actually handle clients' money. So it's like banks, okay? And maybe sooner or later, we should see some regulations here. In Kenya, trading is actually regulated. South Africa is regulated. I think I've also seen that in Nigeria. So maybe Uganda is up next. I think on the side, that would actually be a very, very good thing because I feel like once the government comes in and then the regulations, people now kind of understand how the business is and how right it is, Because at the moment, I mean, it's just the same question that you asked, isn't it risky? Because it's not regulated. But on the side, obviously, since we do have these international regulations, still not on a bad side. But I believe sooner or later we should see those coming in.
Right. We have a daily poll up on our X handle at UBCTV Uganda. The hashtag is UBCJMU. And the question is, share your views on how Forex trading contributes to the country's wealth creation. Share your views on how Forex trading contributes to the country's wealth creation. We are talking about Forex trading and talk about making that money, yes, as it is in our country. 75% of Uganda are youth, young people, but the challenge we face as young people on a general whole is unemployment. And if we look at Forex trading from the way Ahichirize Daniel is giving us the whole plethora of knowledge and the picture that Forex trading looks like, there are many employment opportunities, if you ask me. Keep those questions coming, but also share your opinion on our poll as it's been posted. Ahichirize Daniel is the CEO and founder of Forex Bulls. That's why he has all the authority to speak into this particular matter. Let's look at this business contributing to Uganda's overall economic growth.
Yes.
How does it contribute? How does Forex trading, especially from your angle,
yes,
how does it contribute to Uganda's GDP?
Okay. Well, I think I'll honestly look at it from the sense of employment to start off with.
Yeah.
Again, as I mentioned, I've been running Forex Bulls Academy for the last 4 years, and at the moment employ up to 40 people, you know, working full-time over there. Now, other than that, we have educated over 2,000 people. Now, from those 2,000, we've also had from those spread the message out. Now, looking at this in the bigger picture, obviously everyone out there is trading. Whoever lands, they go out and they're trading. For you to trade, you're investing money in, and obviously you're making back profit and all that. Now, I also look at it as, okay, you're trading, and this could be, let's say, a vehicle to your other business model. Let's say for the profit that you've made, you could decide to invest into, let's say, real estate. You could decide to invest in 2 other businesses and all that. So in other words, it's like the start of everything. And I look at it in that sense because that's how I've been able to use it, and that's how I've seen a lot of traders do so. So other than being employed as, you know, a trader or, you know, a fund manager at a bank or a private equity and all that, you are also looking at, okay, I've made profit. Am I going to start a business? Obviously, as long as you start a business, again, you have to employ people. So in other words, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And to me, that's like the best way I could look at it, you know, because this is like a real vehicle.
Right.
Also, another emphasis, I think I'll keep more emphasis on this, it being digital. And I believe you also see how things are changing. You know, we have crypto, we have this and that, we have AI and all that. So we can't go any backward. We are actually moving forward. See, this is trading online. I mean, sooner or later, we may not even need to go to a Forex bureau to exchange money. So that means if we can actually focus on this, then we are basically working for the future, you know, in the right way possible.
Right. Do share your opinion. We have a poll on our social media platforms. Share your views on how Forex trading contributes to the country's wealth creation. Dave Media Uganda on X says, thank you, Vidola, for such an insightful discussion. Ugandans need to break that negative narrative. Thank you so much for being part of the conversation. And to delve into more of your questions, good morning. I've just joined the conversation, but I need to know more about it. So how much capital is needed and how is it used? Because I'd like to know and how to earn from it. And if possible, I'd like to get his contact for more information, which he'll be definitely sharing a little later. Is there anything you have to say to this viewer?
But yeah, I think I'll emphasize about the capital. A very common question. How much am I supposed to start with? And you know, that shouldn't be a limitation, because you could actually start trading with any amount as much as possible. I've seen people start with 100,000 UGX, but I've also seen people start with 10 million, 100 million, and so forth. So it's more of like, okay, how much do I have on table and how much do I want to invest into trading. And again, obviously, one very important thing that I mentioned earlier is your capital is going to determine your profit targets and all that. So it's not a really big question. I think you just need to like learn, invest into learning, and get straight to it for sure.
I've some of the videos that have been going on as we were discussing show a person, I think it's you, although they have bigger hair in the videos, but teaching about, it looks like it's a video of you teaching and sensitizing. So are there social media platforms where people find you and
Yes, sure. Yes. Well, the best place to actually come is we have a physical trading floor in Kampala, just along Bomba Road. The building is Bible House. So over there, we actually trade live. We get to learn live. So you could actually see me on the charts, you know, analyzing. So you kind of get that real picture. Because I feel like when people see, oh, here, you know, about trading, it feels like some complicated stuff and all that. But when you come over there and get to see things in real time, even better. Oh, by the way, more than that, I've also, you know, educated people on YouTube. We actually have over 300,000 subscribers. So you'll actually check on YouTube, Ashize Daniel, so you get to learn a lot. But I'll definitely opt for the physical, okay? As long as you're in Kampala, please find your way, make your way to Bible House, and at least have a physical touch of that. See how the money moves, other than, you know, seeing things on TV and all that.
So in-person experience is rather more important. All right, now let's look at still licensing. Going back to the conversation of licensing, you talked about the people you deal with who are licensed, have like from licensed banks and financial institutions abroad. How do you gauge that they are actually licensed and they're not scammers?
Yes. Well, these brokers, okay, do have the data public, so you can always verify and confirm that, okay, this broker is licensed or not. And it's very important before you actually, you know, opt for a broker. It's very, very important to confirm that if it's actually regulated or not, because obviously on the side we still do have these catchy, you know, brokers in. So it's like you getting your money and investing it into a bank because, you know, there's a lot of hype and all that. But in actual sense, it's not even regulated by the Bank of Uganda. That would be very disastrous.
Right.
So it's very, very important to check for the license. Good thing is it's public. So for most of these, again, as I mentioned, the license in the UK. Again, as I mentioned, we also have local, let's say in Africa specifically, Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria. So, yeah, in other words, they are actually allowed to operate. And
you can surf them on the internet to see that they are licensed brokers.
For sure, yes.
Very profound. Given that Uganda has not yet got the level of regulation that is needed, is Forex trading, is it a place that pays taxes?
Yes. So at the moment, this is how we pay taxes. So for each transactions that you make, let's say you're depositing or you're withdrawing, we do have those taxes paid. So for most times, I would give an example. Most of the transactions are done through the bank or mobile money and so forth. So let's say you deposited 100,000, made profit, and let's say you're withdrawing 200,000 in, you know, back. Yes, we have that deduction done, basically on your transactions being done. Yes.
Very profound. Keep the conversation going on. Our poll, daily poll on there is share your views on how Forex trading contributes to the country's wealth creation. The hashtag is UBCGMU. It's on Twitter, pardon me, X. It's on X, and the X handle of UBC is at UBC TV Uganda. Share your opinion on there on this particular conversation. It would be lovely to indeed hear from you, but getting into more of your questions, quite a number pouring in. It's Josh, what app can we use to trade online? Thank you for the knowledge.
Okay, impressive, yes. So you could actually install MetaTrader 5 or MT5. It's a global platform that, you know, you could access from anywhere. That's like for retail traders.
Right.
But I would say for big banks and, you know, institutions and all that, most of these actually develop custom platforms where you could get to trade, because I mean they're actually big. But for retail traders just like us, just go over to your phone, your laptop, and install MT5 or MetaTrader 5. Yes.
Another comment coming through from our X. Just wish people could just simply understand the whole thing, but not all see the light. Big inspiration to you, Ahichere. Daniel. And more of the comments as we begin to wrap this conversation up. Good morning, everyone. My question is, how did Daniel get along with trading when he was still schooling? Because for me, it's a no balance situation. So help me. I have a feeling this person knows you because at least we did not mention when you started or whether you were still schooling. But please speak into that.
Yeah, so it's look at it in a sense of work-life balance. Yeah. So to me, honestly, yes, I actually started when I was still in school, but I needed to find what my priority is and to at least have a balance in that. And by the way, this also applies to say you're working on a normal job and all that, and you need to have a balance. You could basically say, I'm going to trade from this time to this. Or you could say, I'm going to basically set 1 hour to majorly focus on this, because you also need to give it a bit of attention for you to learn, for you to get better at it. And then say, I'll again use this time for, whatever I have to do. So you just need to come up with a plan. It's again more of like a work-life balance. So you're not overwhelmed by one thing or the other. And also for the students, it's really honestly easy. It's very easy. You could have that balance in and say, later in the evening, I'll get on YouTube or I'll get to learn and so forth and get better at it. Yes.
Why do they charge a lot of money in training if they make a lot of it?
Okay, this is actually funny, but we don't even charge a lot. It's not a lot. Yes, we charge only 550. Right. I mean, if you went, I don't want to mention the school, but I was studying, and per semester I was paying 3.5 million. Yeah. So you're paying 3.5, I was studying engineering, and okay, well and good, I'm out. Okay, how much am I going to make in return, So we only charge 550. And I would say for someone really looking at becoming, good at this, or making money out of this, that's not a lot of money. Sure. That's only for people that are really interested in that, actually. Yes.
Good morning once more. I'd like for the gentleman to elaborate more on the risks of Forex trading, because 90% lose their money to this. This is Meshach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's start off with the risk side of things. Yes, trading has a risk to it. But then on the side, we also have what we call risk management. That means you can actually get to manage how much money you want to risk, and then how much money you want to make in return. And it's very, very important for anyone getting into trading to actually understand this. I feel like most people come in with a lot of expectations. Oh, I'm going to, because by this is very possible, you could actually trade with 100,000 and make 500,000. But in actual sense, you're basically risking all your amount because you want to make money. Another question is, if say you had a losing trade, what's happening next? So it's very, very important that if you're trading, you get to manage your risk. So let me give you an example. Let's say I'm trading with 1 million Ugandan shillings. I could say, okay, over the million, rather off this 1 million, I'm going to risk, let's say 50,000. Okay, so I'm risking 50,000 to make 150. That's fair enough. So it's risking 1 to make 3. So we call that risk management in trading. So people that lose money in trading gamble, and gambling is not trading. But people that actually make money do understand that sense of it. That okay, this I'm supposed to handle it, this I'm supposed to manage my risk and so forth.
All right, thank you very much. The conversation definitely has to come to a close. Time is not such a friend for us, but if you could please leave your numbers or how best people can reach.
Okay, sure. The best way is to come over to our physical academy at Forex Bulls Academy. Actually, Forex Bulls Academy, just at Bible House, or you could actually go straight to forexbullslive.com. So you actually get to know how we run, our history, our students, and so forth and so forth. And it would be a great pleasure seeing you at Forex Bulls Academy, just at Bible House.
Yes, Thank you very much for educating Ugandans and throwing a ray of light into this whole business of Forex trading that many seem to have questions and a side eye on. Ahecherize Daniel, CEO and founder of Forex Bulls, has been educating us on all matters Forex trading in Uganda. Hopefully you've picked a thing or two. Most importantly, the number he has left where you can find Forex Bulls, but also the online spaces you can engage to be part of this avenue for making that money for yourself and get out of the poor economy, as Jaja always tells us. Good morning. Up next is GMU Tourism Express, and we do have the business desk with Joan coming right after. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us on UBC. My name is Zakia Laki and we are on Good Morning Uganda Tourism Express. I'm coming to you all the way from Kainela Farms, and this is just the milk house. Most of you have seen Omgamba or even Echanzi and different occasions, probably introductions, but this is where it belongs. Echanzi belongs in the milk house. If it is not here, that is the only time it is going outside. Of course, during the introductions, there's just a whole lot of work that women do inside this house. We are bringing you the Ankole culture, or even the Western. This is not just in Ankole, but you'll find it in Batoro, partly in the Wunyoro culture. And guess what? In here, there's just a whole lot of work that women in the western part of Uganda used to do. This is where you find Ebyanzi. There's just a lot of knowledge to pick here. As a traditional woman, I cannot wait, because this house is just full of everything to do with milk. Before you get to the product, everything, the decoration itself, it's all about milk. So you're going to listen in as we speak to Jen. She's going to be telling us what happens in here and, of course, demonstrating.
I'm called Jen, department attendant here. I'm going to take you through the Ankole culture, and this house is what we call the milk house, or Enriebyanzi. This Enriebyanzi, you find there Ebyanzi, you find there milk, you find there anything related to cows. So this base is what we call Orujeje. And this Orujeje, you find there Ebyanzi, this is Ebyanzi, this is Ebirere, this is Ebikolo, and this is Ebishabo. Ebishabo is where we put the fermented milk and you shake until the ghee is formed. And then after getting your ghee, you clean it, you put it here. This is what we call entimbo, where you store ghee. And this Ebyanzi, we use it to take milk. Back then we are not used it to eat. We are just drinking milk. No food, no water, no what, just milk. So the way we are used to take milk, we are using these imports. No cups, no jugs, no what. And this Ebyanzi is for adults. And this is what we call enkongolo. And this enkongolo is for babies, for the young ones. So these byanzi, you find them on Kwinjira of Banyankole, where you find this long stick with these handles to carry these imports, and this bishabo and davilere. That kagamba katono, you find there this is a chunga, this is a njemeko, and these two kongolo for blessings. Gendo zale, abawala n'abalenzi. And this njemeko use it to carry water for cleaning these imports. And this stronger we use it to smoke these imports. There is how we smoke these imports is different from the way we smoke these big ones. These big ones, we use this. There is specific tree called omlama. Not every tree that can smoke these imports. We use only omlama. You put it in your charcoal stove, it burns. So when it burns, it produces a lot of smoke, and you put it inside your chirere. So that smoke preserves the milk and gives the milk the good aroma. And this imports or ebyanzi, there is a specific grass, not every grass that can smoke these imports. So this is what we call obwitizo or embolala or savanna grass. Not every grass that can smoke these imports. Only savanna grass or obwitizo or embolala. You put it here inside your chunga. You put it here. Get your fire. When it produces a lot of smoke, you'll be doing like this. Not like this, not like this, but like this, gently, slowly by slowly, for the smoke to enter. And this smoke preserves the milk, and it gives the milk good aroma, and also it is used as a preservative. You can put here your milk from now until tomorrow, and your milk can't go bad because of this smoke. Yeah. So back then we are not using it to eat, just we are drinking milk, no water, no food, no what, just milk. So by smoking these imports gives you the appetite to finish your milk. Yeah. So for the ladies, we are participating. This is the work for ladies, not for the men. Yeah.
Assistant's finest, it's
Ladies.
your turn how to smoke. You uncover properly.
With one hand and your cover on your
you
another
hold your
hand.
cover in your hand.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Because you quickly cover back.
Oh, you quickly ask.
Yeah.
But
How
is she
many times
seated
do I-
properly?
Just to do.
Is she
The more
Jen,
you,
is she
yeah,
seated
the more you feel
properly?
you now.
Mm.
Okay, how
That's
many
good.
times?
Do any.
Just you do
Like
whatever you
this?
want.
A bit some speed, it's okay. Yeah, you can cover now. Someone else cover.
It has escaped.
Thank you.
It has not.
It has not. So you cover and make it sit on the
And you do it when you're smiling.
on the JJ.
Maybe they may
No, you
put
don't.
you fire.
You're supposed to smile.
So is this the only work that women long time ago in the Western thingy did?
They are 90% of their work is around this house.
That they used not to suffer.
No, there is work.
There is
because
work.
before you arrive here, you have washed those.
So the work of lady.
Or they also used to go and get those things from the bush.
Now also
I thought the
picking
men
those.
would bring them since they.
So you have.
Now that will take a whole day. The ladies probably we have a neighbor or a friend or a relative, ladies, because it is carefully selected from the.
So as a lady, you have to wake up early in the morning. You clean yourself. You come to our office. This is the office for the lady.
Oh, wonderful.
This is the office for the lady. You wake up. You come to here. This is our office for the lady. You make sure that these imports are clean in and out. You smoke it. You clean it out. And the man brings the milk, you put it inside. So it was not good to come to a house of Muhima or Munyankole or Munyarwanda. You go out without taking something. You have to show his hospitality. And if someone comes in, he or she goes out without taking something, that is no. So, but this we have to make sure that these are done early in the morning, but we have done it right now for demonstration, for what, to teach you how we smoke these imports. So we are going to take some milk. If we take milk, we can take. Back then we are not used to boil milk, just we are use milk and we take that raw milk. But nowadays, because of diseases, what, we boil some milk. So this is a boiled milk. No water, no sugar, no what. Just clean as it is. Yeah.
Do you milk the camels also? I saw some camels.
What?
No, Arabs milk camels, but in our culture we do not. Yeah.
So we have here, this is fresh milk, very boiled, and we have bongo. If we take bongo, some take bongo, I can give them bongo. If some take fresh, I can give fresh.
We take everything.
Maybe you can tell us the different types of milk.
Oh, we have, this is fresh milk, boiled milk, and we have, this is what we call chai, and we have amashunu, that is raw milk, and we have bongo, amakamo, and we have amatunda. That matunda, where we put fermented milk from that chabo, and you shake. Then that milk from ghee is what we call amatunda. And that matunda we are taking for young ones and for the women. But for the men, you can't give your man matunda.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Good morning. It is a cold one here on Nile Avenue. It's still powering, but we hope you are keeping yourself warm. Do not forget to sip on Ugandan coffee because it is in our nature. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda Business. My name is Joan N. Murunji, and it is Monday, the 2nd of March. It's a brand new month, meaning you can visit your checklist, what we're supposed to have accomplished by the end of February. Has it worked out or not? Are you going to embrace what has worked out for you? Please do that. And of course, in business, make sure what has not played positive according to the books, ledger accounts, and filing returns. You do not use the same strategy at the month of March. It's now time for our economic press, and starting off with a Bubu initiative as innovators, entrepreneurs, industrialists, and company proprietors have urged Ugandans to embrace the Buy Uganda, Build Uganda Bubu initiative as a way of improving the quality and competitiveness of locally manufactured products. Now, this was during the ongoing agriculture and livestock exhibition at Kololo Independence Grounds. Let's have a look.
Quality seeds and seedlings, highlighting promoting locally produced agricultural inputs. They say they use natural and organic locally sourced ingredients to ensure quality and promote safe agricultural production under the Buy Uganda, Build Uganda initiative.
What makes them different is the organically made, of which these fertilizers, they base on fertilizing both the soil and the plantation.
The chain links, they are so much like contacted with the farmers, because if someone has chicken, if you are rearing goats, if you have the cows, you really need these chain links. For example, the gauge 10 is the biggest gauge. It is so hard that if you fence them around your cows, it can work very well. Even the cows cannot go out.
To expand a little bit, DK777 are drought-tolerant varieties, or drought-escape varieties that can grow and be harvested with very minimal water.
Our mandate is to facilitate you as a Ugandan business to be able to export. We do that through sharing with you information, building your capacity, enhancing your knowledge on the requirements and on the international market, what you can export where.
This is part of the Buy Uganda, Build Uganda concept and policy to promote the production, consumption, and the competitiveness of goods and services made in Uganda. Mesha Steel Limited manufactures fencing materials, and the company's sales manager, Christine Nazinda, told UBC the Buy Uganda, Build Uganda framework has provided a platform for local manufacturers to showcase their products, expand market access, and compete favorably with the imported goods.
My products are very good, they are stable, and also, for example, the chain links here, they are so much like, if you fence using the chain links, even if it rains, even if it is sunshine, they are very good. It does not rust.
QFeed makes concentrates from within the country in Uganda. So these concentrates include the high protein concentrates and the low protein concentrate. They are for your pigs to make them grow faster.
They are working with quality. So we didn't leave out the farmers. That's why you see we have our most selling item, the smart tank, the smart tank. Then we have the chain link. We have the wire mesh. Then the mighty wheelbarrow.
Chiboko Mabati manufacturers also showcased. Exhibitors say some consumers perceive Ugandan products as inferior in quality compared to imported alternatives, which the Buy Uganda, Build Uganda initiative is addressing.
Na Uganda yandifunye ekintu ekikoleddwa Uganda ku muwendo oba ku ssente ezisaanidde. Ne tujjawo enjogera egamba nti nno ekintu eky'ebbeeyi ennene kye kivudde wabweru.
Other exhibitors included innovators into the solar-powered stoves and stoves that combine solar energy with volcanic rock technology to promote environmental sustainability.
Zisevinga obutonde bw'ensi. Ene ensawo y'amayinja weebeere z'ofumba omwaka mulamba.
Amwa Evanjuko for UBC.
Thank you, Ivan Joko. Now, the Pentagon chief, Pete Hegseth, will hold a press conference today in the morning at the joint U.S.-Israel military campaign against Iran, which is the first by a senior Trump administration official since the strikes began on Saturday. Now, let's look at the business context of the Iran conflict. The conflict poses significant risks to African economies, and it threatens to undermine post-pandemic recovery by tightening financial conditions, with oil importing nations experiencing the most acute pressure. Now, the risks to Africa primarily through sharply rising oil prices, higher shipping costs and supply chain disruptions, and also increased inflation, particularly for fuel importing nations. And when we look at the Strait of Hormuz, which is a narrow waterway between Iran and Oman, connecting the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman and the open sea, how has the U.S.-Iran conflict crisis reshaped global oil markets? Now, the U.S.-Iran conflict has put the Strait of Hormuz on a knife's edge, with the supply disruption, which the supply disruption means for oil prices, jet fuel, LNG and global energy flows, and what commodity market professionals need to know right now. Because the current situation is that the United States struck Iran, killing the supreme leader and triggering an active military conflict. And now Iran retaliated beyond symbolic measures. Now, when we look at the market context, why the Strait of Hormuz is the epicenter is because it is the world's single most critical energy choke point, and any meaningful closure or even a sustained de facto closure driven by insurance withdrawal would trigger supply shocks across multiple commodity classes simultaneously. And of looking at how by the product markets, that is gas oil, which is diesel, jet fuel and gasoline, are likely to play out. Gas oil, which is diesel, faces the most acute fiscal pressure in the near term. And it is the primary fuel for military logistics and regionally concentrated in supply. And it is the hardest product to source alternative supply for quickly. Gas oil cracks are expected to gap sharply higher today morning. And we look at the jet fuel disruption that will follow with a slight lag, but is likely to be a more persistent, as Kuwait is a central hub in regional jet supply, and any sustained disruption to Strait transit will translate directly into European aviation supply tightening. And gasoline is relatively better insulated. Global supply is more distributed and the arbitrage network more flexible, though Asian turnaround season adds more vulnerability to the margin. So what does this, the Iran conflict mean to business in Africa? The impacts on the African business are quite broad, and with energy and inflation as a major global supplier, disruptions in Iranian oil exports or threats to the Strait of Hormuz are driving oil prices higher. For example, above $100 barrel in worst-case scenario, increasing inflation and transport costs across the continent. When we look at shipping and trade disruptions, shipping companies are avoiding high-risk areas like the Strait of Hormuz and the Red Sea, impacting logistics for East African nations, including tea exports to the Middle East. With the increased operating costs, manufacturing and transportation sectors are facing higher costs due to fuel price spikes, as seen in Nigeria, where petrol prices jumped significantly following the renewed conflict. And the economic strain on specific countries, Egypt is facing risks from reduced gas supply, while countries with ties to Iran, such as South Africa, face potential secondary sanctions and tariff risks. Agricultural exports have not been left out, as East African nations, for example Kenya, are bracing for disrupted tea exports to key markets in the Middle East due to shipping challenges. So we shall always bring you the developments concerning business with the evolving conflict of Iran. Let's look at the Forex rates as of 27th February 2026 by Bank of Uganda, starting off with the US dollar that bought at 3,594.64 and sold at 3,604.64. By midday, the dollar bought 3,594.50 and sold at 3,604.50. By close of business, the dollar buying rate was at 3,595.86 and sold at 3,605.86, whereas the Great British Pound bought off at 4,840.74 and sold at 4,855.65. The euro bought off at 4,244.55 and sold at 4,256.71. Whereas the Kenyan shilling went bought at 27.85 and sold at 27.97. The Tanzanian shilling bought at 1.39 and sold at 1.43. And finally, the South African rand there bought at 225.26 and sold at 226.00. Thank you for accompanying us at this very second day of March 2026. It's a Women's Day week. Good morning once again. Julie is coming up with the agenda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation, when people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes, and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Booza Commissioner.
Our program of poverty eradication is a must. We want everybody to be involved.
Through the parish development model, Ugandans are starting small but impactful projects to improve their livelihoods.
When we give 1 million, we know it's not enough to do many things, but it's a starting point.
I'm a PDM beneficiary, a farmer. Your Excellency, I was given 1 million Uganda shillings from Kobil Kawo PDM Circle. Your Excellency, I got 20 bunches from my small piece of land sold, got 400,000, put in the PDM farm, Your Excellency, in the PDM money, Your Excellency, I bought a cow of 1,400,000.
In 1 year, 100 families in the parish you get. In 5 years, 500 families would have got.
We were the first people to receive money from Nakapre. I received $1 million. I rented 4 acres of land and I was able to harvest 14 bags.
So really this 1 million is enabling somebody to start something. Yes, and we don't want to give too much money to one person because we have got very many people to cover.
The parish development model empowers the people, focusing on lifting up the masses and creating opportunities that ensure prosperity for all. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance.
Good morning, Uganda. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV. Welcome back from the business desk with Joanne. It's time for the agenda. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. And in line with celebrating women, it's International Women's Week, International Women's Month. And this week we shed a light on the truth of what women can do and are created to do. And today in particular, we're looking at empowering women in leadership and transforming skills. Now, my guest this morning is Rachel Akugiziwe, maternal health advocate, operations leader, and faith-driven leader. She is committed to helping women and newborns thrive. And she is passionate about Uganda, her country, but also is part of a mission called the Mantle of Deborah, Uganda, and is passionate about equipping passionate women to rise, lead, and walk in purpose. That is the kind of profile that the lady I'm hosting this morning carries, and that means there is a lot to expect from this particular conversation. Be part of one, 0709-602-592. It's not only limited to women, because where a woman is, a man thrives. Where a man is, a woman thrives. So let's learn how to empower each other through this particular conversation. Good morning, ma'am. A pleasure having you this morning.
Good morning, Julie.
How are you?
I'm awesome.
Good to have you.
Thank
and I'm
you
excited for this particular conversation. But just to break the ice,
yeah,
could you please just share a bit of a background, especially in line with your leadership journey?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for introducing me, number one.
Yeah.
As a leader, in different spheres of life, in the marketplace, I serve at a space where I, just as I said, advocating for maternal health and newborn care, so make accessible donated breast milk. Yes, as I lead from that perspective. Then also in the faith-based space. I serve in my church. I serve with the mantle of Deborah Uganda, and all this in the leadership positions where, you know, get not only, you know, to steward the vision, but also to steward young ladies, to walk in their purpose and in their God-ordained purpose. So for me, leadership is part of the things not only I get to do, but that I get to live on a daily. Yes.
Ah, that's profound, to live on a daily. Therein, you've said something quite profound. You get to serve the vision. What is the vision?
So, Mantle of Deborah, in particular, Mantle of Deborah, this is a conference we're talking about, but Mantle of Deborah is part of a global apostolic and prophetic movement stewarded by people of influence network. Now, Mantle of Deborah is part of that movement.
Yeah.
What does it get to do? It gets to, Mantle of Deborah gets to empower the woman to rise, you know, to equip them, to awaken them, to walk in the purpose, the God-ordained purpose and kingdom mandate. That is what it gets to do.
Quite profound. And in line with purpose, I believe it's a conversation that you should sit down on as you sip on your Uganda coffee. Reminding you that the show is proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, where an encouragement is made and based on the fact that you have to consume Uganda coffee. As you sip on it, purpose is key in this conversation when it comes to women empowerment. What does it look like? Is it feminism? And I'll start from there, by the way. Feminism and women empowerment, are they the same?
The context of feminism has been blown out of context, and everyone believes what they want to believe.
Right.
What feeds their soul and mind.
Based on experience, I guess.
Based on the experience someone has gone through, they've interfaced with. But women empowerment isn't a space where you're just looking at, you know, making women defiant. No, empowering a woman is empowering a nation. You know, when you get a woman to walk in their God-ordained purpose, to steward their skills, their career, their giftings, you're not only empowering the woman, you're empowering a nation. We are mothers. We are God-created helpers. We are heirs. So because we are created in that space, empowering a woman is empowering the nation. Because we are the first contact of the children. We are the helpers in all aspects, not only in marriages, but even everywhere else. We are created helpers. So empowering a woman goes more than just giving them a voice. It goes to a space of what were you created to do? Are you walking in what you are created to do? Which impact do you have in the space you live? And for us in Mantle of Deborah is you're walking in purpose in what God called you for and to impact the kingdom of God. Yes.
And I love what you shared in there, because when you say the word, use the word helpers, it reminds me of a doctor, that when you're sick, you need medical help.
Yeah.
And that medical help can only be given by a doctor, not an engineer, not a banker, not any other field. That medical help definitely comes. And when you're sick, you have to you're vulnerable, and that help is needed, not wanted.
Yeah.
So therein, when we use the word help, the connotation usually comes from a very negative background. It comes from, since you're the help, generally it carries everything negative. You're the domestic worker, you're the one supposed to sacrifice your future, your career, your purpose, your calling. That is, if you even understand it. You're the one supposed to, as a working woman, for example, if the time for maternity comes in there, you're the one supposed to put everything on hold so that you stay home for your babies, probably just drop everything and stay home because you're the helper. So what exactly does the word helper mean? From your elaboration, it means someone needed.
Yeah.
But from the world's perspective of what society has groomed us to know what help means, it means you're the house help, it's negative generally. It's a burden that women carry as opposed to embracing it.
Thank you for that question. Do you also believe carrying a burden, it's not only negative, there is carrying a burden for change, there is carrying a burden for improvement. So when we talk about burden, for me, it's not just negative. Now, you asked what does helper look like, since out there in the world it is painted as negative. Yeah. Helper is one of the, I find it, I'll choose to call it one of the most beautiful things to ever be. If one is a helper, they are enabling you get to something. They are helping you fulfill a purpose. Say, case in point, if a woman, we are created helpers, yeah? Through us, you know, our wombs, babies will come, yeah? We are not going to delegate that. So when you mentioned something like when you have a child and you've got, you know, maybe to take maternity leave, there are things that can't be delegated, and you're the only one who can do it. So because we are created as the nurturers, are the ones who carry this child, we can't delegate it to a man. It is our God-created mandate to do. We have to carry it, yeah? But, you know, when you say a helper is looked at in a different way, let's just stop, remove a helper out of context. How many things would crumble? So it's just us in the community out here painting it black, but when you go down to who a helper and what a helper is called to do, it's actually very, very powerful, not a condemnation, not a belittling, not something making you, you know, lesser. I will use an example of ladies who have house helps at home. When a house help is not at home,
everything crumbles.
You can get disorganized.
That's true.
Work becomes a burden. Getting to work, you know, into your marketplace. Yes. Everything else you've got to do is slowed down. When you look at that context, is help a burden or an essential?
An essential.
Perfect.
Very profound way of indeed delivering that point right there. And I hope you're learning a thing or two. I'd love that from this conversation, a lot is taken out of. But a reminder in there that the Mantle of Deborah National Conference is on the 7th of March, which is this Saturday. Apostle Isi Igenegba will be coming to Uganda for that conference, of which she is the vision bearer of the Mantle of Deborah. But in there is Minister Irene Kauma and Bishop Joshua Luere. I love to see spaces empowering women that have men involved on there, because each of us feeds into the other for the purpose of the great God who created us. The venue is Hotel Africana. Register to attend. The details are on there. You can also scan that QR code to be able to register and be part of the Mantle of Deborah of Uganda, rather the Mantle of Deborah Uganda. The conference is this Saturday, and the theme is the Dominion Mandate, Genesis 1:26 to 28. In studio with me is Rachel Akugizibwe. She is a maternal health advocate, operations leader, and faith-driven leader. We're talking everything leadership as we look at empowering women in leadership and transforming skills. Be part of the conversation, 0709 602 592. Now, in practical terms, practical everyday terms, what does empowering women in leadership mean?
Thank you. Empowering women in leadership, what does it mean? It means skilling them. It means training them, you know, doing different courses and master classes on how you position yourself as a leader. How do you lead to impact, but with influence and excellency and diligence? That is empowering a woman, to give them also practical skills. When you do this, this is what you do. Because when someone talks about, you know, health, faith-based, to the outside world, it feels like you're only going to read the Bible on the Bible. Yes, we do read the Bible. Yes, we do pray. But aside from that, the practical things, what does it take you, you know? If you're a career woman, what does it take you for a career woman to stand in that career and execute your duties with excellency, with diligence, but with impacting the kingdom, and also with everything that aligns with the kingdom of God, but also fulfilling your purpose where you were created. So the practicality of it, different courses are done. We get to, people are discipled to walk the journey with you. I've been there before. How do I get a young woman there to know that when you go in the marketplace, this is what happens, yeah? So when you go back, you know, when you say Mantle of Deborah, it's a leaning to the book of Judges. We look at the transformational leader in the Bible, Deborah, who was a judge, you know. Not only was she a judge, she was a leader, she was a wife. But
Sure,
when
yes.
you go back and see in Judges 4 and 5, you will see the couple of things she did. So for us, empowering looks like that. What can you do? How can you do it? How can we help you achieve it? But in the right way, in your God-ordained way and direction.
I love the fact that you've mentioned Deborah in the Bible, who was a judge, a leader, but at the same time she was a wife.
Yeah.
And these are some of the examples that I rarely talked about or announced when it comes to women empowerment, or women who are married can have careers and at the same time stay married. This one time we were having a conversation and one of our colleagues did mention, made a statement that women tend to have a lower thinking capacity or myopia in line with that. And many men, I can't blame the author of this mindset, but many men, their mindset is that women have a lower thinking capacity compared to the men. Many men think that women think lower. How would you educate or free the mindset of a gentleman watching there as to how to perceive a woman in terms of mindset and cognitive processes and mental capabilities?
I love that question. I'll answer it by starting with a question. Every man who says that, they've got a mother. So how do you know, most people, even most men will tell you, my mother is the most brilliant person, the most positive thinker, the best person, you know, with what they do I've ever seen. She is woman. Yeah? Let's start from there. So,
and just to interject a little bit, if you would pardon me, we indeed asked this question, do you have a mother? Yes, but I see what my father is going through, and the conclusion is women. They don't think. Their cognitive processes are lower than that of a man. And from what I've discovered in, you know, with what you see on ground, you notice that sometimes a woman will see things that a man is unable to see and will be able to advise accordingly. Taken or not?
Yeah. I think the mere fact that women are emotional beings and men are logical, yes, they tend to misunderstand the woman. Yeah. I will see, or you are a woman, you see, there are things which you're very critical at, which a man won't be critical at. So I would say your colleagues, you know, decision and ideation is from a point of a man. I am man. This is how I see things. So because he's man, and that is the way he sees things, he judges woman as man, not as woman. You can only judge woman as woman, not as man. Because if I woke up and said, men men are hard people, I have to factor in that they are logical when they do things. So if I'm going to judge them, depending on my emotions as a woman, I might find them extremely complicated. So for me, I urge that a man out there, when you're handling a woman, look at them as woman, not as man. When you look at them as woman,
because they'll never be you.
Exactly. But then the one thing when you say, you know, someone thinks that thinking is lower or what, no, it isn't. It isn't.
And in fact, I'm using kinder language.
Yeah.
But for many people, women, musiru. They outrightly, women, abakazi tebategera. That's, society has it as that, abakazi tebategera. Abakazi tebalovoza. You know, that narrative, that, and it's something that I wish the male gender would outgrow.
So,
but what justifies them to outgrow it?
Well, more reason for them to be part of this. Because, you know, when we go back to the Lady Deborah I spoke about in the Bible, and you know, her as a judge, as a wife, and all that, and this is where we lean on as we are doing the mantle of Deborah. And also, I'll mention one thing, that there is no Deborah without a man. So we are in this together. We are partners. We do this together. So when you say omukazi musiru, it equates to omusajja musiru, because can two work together unless they agree? We are doing this together. So I would urge a man out there to take time and understand women from the perspective of who God created them to be. When you understand a woman from who God created them to be, you will not misunderstand who they are. Yeah.
Profound. 0709-602592 by WhatsApp, text, and be part of the conversation. A reminder that the Mantle of Deborah National Conference is on. It is by the Mantle of Deborah Uganda, and the theme this year is the Dominion Mandate, Genesis 1:26-28. Guest speakers on there, it's the vision bearer, Apostle Isi Igenegba, Minister Irene Kauma, and Bishop Joshua Luere. Will be at Hotel Africana. So scan the QR code on the poster there and get to register. It starts at 9 a.m. East African time. 0709-602592. Some of the comments coming through. Netherlands, Brooklyn, Leo Brazen. Well, this is a good gender balance since women have been strong and powerful success leaders. All right, thank you. And empowering women in leadership is not just about representation, but about equipping them with practical life-transforming skills that create confidence, independence, and lasting impact in our communities. When women rise, families, institutions, and nations rise with them. This is Vincent Makwali in Mbale City. Thank you, Vincent, for being on the show. You talked about skills as part of something that empowers a woman. Do you believe women must intentionally develop today in order to lead, or are there any other means these skills can find them? Should there be some form of intention that perhaps women sometimes lack therein?
Yeah, there should be intention to this skilling, because it's one thing to have them available. It is another to take them on. So they need to be intentional about taking this on, not sitting back and saying, well, it will find me. Intentionality is very key.
Always, yeah, always. Let's get into the field of you being a maternal health advocate and try to link it. How does empowering women in leadership connect or relate with maternal health advocacy today?
One of the things I'd say, and I was having a conversation with someone recently, it was about advocating for you. When you empower me, case in point, if I walk into a doctor's office and I'm an empowered woman, I will clearly ask things in relation to my health. It should be gone are the days where they say this is how it should be, and because you're a woman, you can't ask, you can't interject, you can't raise a concern that, okay, what can we do? Because in maternal health, you are dealing with a woman's body, with a woman's organs, with you. And it's only you who lives in you, in your body. So when you are an empowered woman, you are able to be a clear stakeholder in the decisions that are being made about you. You get it? Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Now, what leadership skills do you think are most needed but are still lacking, especially when it comes to advocating for maternal health, which every woman must be concerned?
The leadership skills, one, women need to be empowered to take charge of their bodies, of themselves, to take charge of who they are, yeah? Not, it's sad. Lately, I think you've seen so many things on social media where they say a woman had to redo her body because someone said they body shamed them, and they said. But what does empowerment look like in that line? It looks like this is you, this is who God created you as. You are enough. Now, if there is something pertaining your productive health or what, you have you've got a voice to make decisions on what's going to happen on you. We are telling you, we are not telling you to be defiant, but we are telling you, let's have this discussion. If one is married, let's have this discussion. And someone's telling you, you've been dark, kindly change. You find me dark skin and you tell me, you look better light. Can we have that conversation? Am I empowered enough to sit and have that conversation with you that you see, I am comfortable in this skin,
And nothing can
and
change
nothing
that.
can change it unless it's a personal decision. So it's in that space of we are not being defiant, we are not being big-headed, we can have dialogue and have a conversation and understand one another.
Speaking of dialogue, many times women are misunderstood. As much as they want to communicate or even avail platforms to communicate, especially not just in spaces in the marketplace, but it starts right from home to the marketplace, where a woman asks for a communication to say what her mind is. That you met me dark-skinned. I'm exactly not comfortable turning into a different color that I was never created to be. When a woman is honest, they're usually called defiant. So how best do you think as women we can navigate the narratives of truth while still maintaining the truth?
Okay, thank you. As women, one of the things, and I love saying this, unless you understand yourself, yeah, there is no one who is going to understand you. But mode of delivery is very important. Mode of how you deliver all these things is very, very important. And the initial stages of whatever you're in, Julie, if I walked in and I'm cold with you, I've given you my first impression. Regardless of how I come back and I explain it was a cold morning, I came so early, you will always have this thing at the back of your mind, is she being real? You get it. So I would tell a woman their mode of delivery of whatever you've got to say, it's very, very important. So as we are in the spaces of empowerment, mode of delivery is very important on how we go around all these things as career women, as mothers, as wives, as parents, as colleagues. All this, there are things that we journey through as we are being equipped, being reawakened, and working in all this purpose. These are things we've got to, we get equipped about on how to deliver whatever we have to deliver, on how to live amongst one another, and it doesn't feel like you're suppressing someone, you're disrespectful, or even you're blowing things out of context.
And unfortunately therein, it also meets men who have not been empowered, because now they're dealing with insecurities, and however calm you are in delivery, you are overstepping. And this man will, because of course as a man, as a human being, he has a past. He has grown up with an insecurity. So now, as you who's trying to be as sane as possible, this man is, all he's hearing, not listening, hearing is this woman is overstepping. This woman cannot speak back at me. One would wonder how to maneuver, even in the places of work, where you try to ask your supervisor, can I please say something for you to understand? No. That is very disrespectful. You know?
No, it's honestly always goes back to mode of delivery.
Yeah.
There's also one thing thinking you're doing it right. But have you tried having a conversation with your mentors? Are ladies having mentors? Are they having work with people, the ones who are doing life with them, who have been there before, and they are intentionally doing life with them, where you're going to be honest and say, now, Julie, as I was speaking to my supervisor, I was feeling some kind of way. And Julie will tell you, Rachel, that was wrong. You see, it's the people we are doing life with. So in our spaces of equipping, we are having intentional mentors who will do life with you, not just, you know, availing a lot of theoretical things and there is no practicality.
Right. Yeah. Profound. Empowering a woman as they are supposed to operate and not in a defiant mode. Be part of the conversation. A quick one, indeed, as we begin to close this conversation. One final question before we get into the comments. How can women move from support roles to decision-making roles?
Women have always been in decision-making roles.
If you go into the marketplace, unless you have a supervisor or a boss who empowers you to actually engage, many a times you find that because of the home background, the backgrounds under which we grow up, you find that women tend to just be comfortable, be supportive. But unless you find a boss who is a mentor at the same time, or someone in authority who just throws you into the deep end to make sure that you find the nuts and the screws to bolt your leadership side, you might as well remain in the supportive character. So how best do you think women can be yanked out of the constant supportive character and be able to embrace decision-making and bold moves?
I love that question. And I love the fact that our global lead, Apostle Isi Igenba, and if you've watched any of her content, or any one of you watching who has watched any of her content, the things that she's been very intentional about when she speaks about a woman, she speaks about our intentionality as women, but also going back for a woman, understanding who she is, why she's in that space.
Right.
If it's in that workplace, why are you in that workplace? Why are you called to be in that workplace? For as long as we are not rising up to the occasion of why we are there, we shall remain feeling less than. I cannot say. Your boss, your workmates can only do so much. There's so much work is with you. So the thing is, like I initially said, find a mentor, so find someone to do life with, attend spaces like this. Come on Saturday at a Hotel Africana. Let's have this conversation, practically have this conversation with people who have gone before you and are still going, and you can, find a way how to bridge these gaps, but also to rise up to the occasion, to walk in fulfillment of who you're called to be.
All right. Yeah. And in just a minute, we are going to talk about this event, but one final comment: community dialogues and awareness programs can address harmful stereotypes that limit women's participation in leadership. Engaging men and boys as allies helps create lasting cultural change. This is Michael in Gulu. Let's talk about Saturday. What should we expect? What should we look forward to?
First things first, please register, because we have limited slots.
Right.
If you don't register, you might not be able to, access the venue. What to expect? You've seen the lineup of the speakers. Apostle Isi Igenba, Minister Irene Kauma, and Bishop Rere Joshua. Now, this is a very rich panel. Oh my God. So when you come, what are you going to expect? You're going to expect practical steps on how to walk in, full purpose of what God ordained you to do. You are going to expect an awakening of the things that we have gone quiet on. There is so much one of our leaders, actually Saposo Isi, keeps saying, everything that you ever need to do your best was created within you. So this day, we are going to have this reawakened. Can we get back in the line of why we were created? Our theme this year is the Dominion Mandate, and it leans on Genesis 1:26-28. Are we walking in full dominion, in full manifestation of what we are called to do? On Saturday, we are going to have those conversations. We are going to have, practical people, real people, not just theory that you're talking to, who are telling you and journeying with you here. It's not going to be just a conference. It's going to be a start of a good thing, and there will be continuity. It doesn't end on Saturday. It goes on, because Mantle of Deborah is in Uganda, and we are here. You can reach out on all our social medias, even after the conference.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I've been speaking with Rachel Akugizibwe. She is a maternal health advocate, operations leader, and faith-driven leader. We've been speaking everything empowering women in leadership and transforming skills. I hope you've picked a thing or two from this conversation that you will use to indeed build Uganda through a woman. Support a woman, love on a woman, empower her to be the best version of herself as she pours back into you and the whole community at large. Ruben is coming up next with the sports, as the sports action was quite a lot over the weekend, but I believe he has a lot in store for you on that end. Let's do this again tomorrow. Good morning.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle.